Hello and welcome to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya here for the Spanish Grand Prix of round 13 of this 14 race season 9 for the F3 Championship here. And with just 2 races to go, it is beginning to get a little bit tight at the top of the table. Some of those drivers will be eyeing up those promotion spots. Currently, the only one who has qualified for an F2 place next season is of course Voltec's Aaron. He leads the way with 118 points and has secured his place in F2 for next season. Second place at the moment is Tezza on 88 points. He needs just I believe it's 15 points today, so a third place finish would see him into F2 for next season. He currently has a 27 point gap over Frag and Liliart. So Liliart also not racing today as well, so that actually means that any points he gets over Lily today will go for him in terms of his F2 promotion spot. Blizzard with a 18.2, not a bad first lap actually. It's a fairly decent first lap. Be expecting Voltec's Aaron to go at least half a second quicker. We'll see what he can do though on his second run. Alduro with a 19.7, that's quite a way off the pace. And of course Voids as well, who's looked quick but had never really been able to extract the most during an actual qualifying session. He's done a lot of time trial and he's quickish. He was quick as well at Monza last week, but just couldn't get the lap on. But he actually crashed at Monza last week, so hopefully he'll be getting a better result today. And obviously Australia next week as well isn't an easy circuit to overtake at, so he will be looking forward to a decent qualifying for himself today. And almost everyone setting a lap here. It's sunny Spain. It is to be clear throughout. Just looking back now down turn 10, there's a Williams there. That may have been Alduro as well, out of fuel. That may have been Zandamar. No, it wasn't. It was the other Williams of Blizzard, who is actually a debutant, but he won't be going up. It is impossible. And Eusebio, where is he? Not quite sure where he is. He's just caused a collision and he's been disqualified, so that's very clever. Who did he cause a collision with again? I'm not quite sure who, but let's just have a quick little look. Go to incidents, lots of invalidations of course, Voids, so not quite sure what happened there. Hopefully Voids, as you can see there, no front wing, so hopefully we'll get to know what happened. Moment, everyone just coming into the pits off of their first runs. And interesting, Trent's going to go for the mediums, and he's one of 2. We've got Seb as well, who's also a debutant, so he's also gone for the mediums at the moment as well. No time set though. Whatever that was, an invalidation maybe. Let's just have a quick little look. Nope, not even out yet, so that's interesting. Miles hasn't set a lap either, and Eusebio, of course, getting disqualified for not only causing a collision but then facing the wrong way on track. So let's just go find Milan quickly, see what he's doing. Coming into 13 now, to the tricky chicane at 14 and 15. Not too much curve on the right hand side, but there you go, into the pits anyway. So see if Shane can extract anything. He's actually on a in lap, or he might be on a out lap actually. Having said that, we'll see what he does. He comes out of the chicane. Nope, he's in as well, so we've got no cars out on track at the moment, which is a shame. But Blizzard actually comes out now, so he'll be onto his second run, and he'll be looking to improve on that 18.2. I'd expect at least a 17, high 17. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes. So here we go then. We're right on board with Blizzard for this pole attempt. Provisional pole at the moment, 18.2. Can he improve? Coming down this long front straight into turn 1. Straight line speed is very useful. Very wide entry, as you can see there, into 4th gear. Up into 5th, now 6th for turn 3. You can see they're trying to hug the inside as best he can, without compromising the speed too much. 21.9, not quite sure what that is in relation to his last lap. Looks like a tidy lap so far though, a little bit of a lag drifting by the looks of it there. Oh, and he's lost it! Coming through turns at 7 and 8, and he will have bought that lap. And Aaron, I'm not quite sure if that was actually a lap or not. Zandamar on outlap. This is a very quick outlap. And here comes Void as well now. So as you can see, there's a lot of the guys not actually out on track yet. They're still in the pits or leaving the pits now. Alduro in the first corner as well. And you can see that wide entry using that curb on the left hand side to take as much speed through that first corner as possible. See what his first sector's like. So quite a poor one actually. I say poor, it's only 2/10 off of Blizzard. So at the moment he's on for an 18.4 theoretically. He's got a teammate in front of him though, and he's holding him up here, and Void will not be happy with this, and that's going to put him on massively. And it wouldn't surprise me if he had bought this lap, but he's going to continue on to 22.1 in the middle sector. Aaron goes the fastest with a 17.9. Just under 3/10 quicker than Blizzard. And Aaron has called it a day. He will sit on that time of a 17.9. Here comes Void. It's going to be a very slow lap. It's a 20.2. And he won't be happy with that one. He's going to go for another lap here. I think he might. Interesting though, considering the soft tyre around here is very poor in terms of durability. Where's Blizzard? Blizzard's back in the pits. He's exiting now. I don't think he's going to have enough time. Watch the clock, it's 22, it's going to be so close. He's got to take this as basically a flying lap. Zandamar crosses the line, improves with a 18.6. Is he going for another run here? I think he is, you know. Void's on another one as well. Miles, and that is in the wall. How on earth has he lost it there? Oh, sorry, that's coming out of turn 3. I thought it was further round. That's a big impact. Left front, as you can see there, snapped off. And he's obviously clipped the AstroTurf. A good lap though for 5th place, but can only assume he'll drop. Alduro just teeing himself up unless he's run out of fuel, and he has, I think, or he's made a mistake somewhere. P6 for him at the moment. Trench Gun comes through the final chicane. He's coming onto a lap now. Milan coming through the middle sector as well. Kingdom Martin just starting his flying lap, and the Lee as well. Let's see what happens. I think he's on an outlap actually. Here is Seb again on the medium tyres. Is it Trench Gun? Yeah, so Trench Gun. I wonder. Let's quickly skip back to where Trench Gun is. He's on a lap now, so we'll see where he's actually gonna go, if he's gonna start on mediums or not. Here comes Milan then into the final corner. It's gonna be a 1:19.7. It keeps him 6th even. In fact, no, I think he jumped Alduro, so that's one place. And Zandamar finishes P3. Blizzard has put it in the wall coming out of turn 2. He's not even made it to turn 3. That's a very interesting place to lose it there, unless he's just put it straight in the wall. But it will be Voltex Aaron on pole, Blizzard 2nd, Zandamar 3rd, Voltex Void 4th, Voltex Seb with a good lap on the mediums, P5. It's an 18.7, 18.8 even. Miles will start 6th, Milan will start 7th, Trench Gun in 9th. Is currently coming through the last corner. The Lee retires as well, so he'll start outside the top 10. Can Trenchgun improve? And he does, and he goes P6. We actually jumps, I think he jumps Milan and Eldoro actually. So we'll have a little look there. Yep, he does. But on the mediums, Voltex Seb here, a good strategy call, because the tyre degradation is pretty poor here. And it is a very tricky track as well to negotiate if you do have poor tyre wear. So we'll see how that works out for him. But on pole it is once again a Voltex Aaron. Blizzard just under 3/10 behind. And hopefully all the drivers will adhere to the 2-minute prep period today. And we won't have any reprimands to dish out at the end. Just confirming, Alduro did run out of fuel, so that was the reason why he aborted that lap. It was a shame because he was actually quite a chunk of time up on his lap. But we'll wait now for the drivers to complete their 2-minute prep period, and then we'll join them on the formation lap. There will be Alduro who receives a reprimand at the end of his race, or 10-second penalty, depends if he finishes or not. Again, drivers unable to adhere to the 2-minute prep period we have in place here in PSF1. So then, onto the formation that we will go. We'll see what the guys outside the top 10 opted for, whether they went for the mediums or not. I think the Lee possibly retired knowing he couldn't be lower than P11. So he might have started on the mediums. Let's just have a quick look. Usual quick start from Aaron. Try and just get a little bit of... And Trenchgun's already been disqualified. Not quite sure what that's about. Again, we can't get the broadcast view. There we go. Got there eventually. Anyway, so it is Voltex Aaron starting from pole from Blizzard. The two Williams actually second and third, with the Haas in fourth of Voids. And Voltex Seb on his debut on the mediums in that Ferrari. Trenchgun at P6, Kingdom Martin P7, Miles P8. He did drop from P5 in the end. But let's just have a little look further down. Who's got what tyres on? Eusebio opting for the medium tyres. Shane DeBoss tends to get a lot of early lap damage. So hopefully he can stay out of any trouble today and take those hards for as long as he can. Because he tends to have a little bit of a incident in the first couple of laps. And it's Hezza starting on the softs, which is rather interesting. And the Lee starting on the mediums. And he is the optimal placed car in terms of strategy for all those tyres. But of course Seb starting on those slightly warm mediums. I'm pretty sure he won't be too bothered that they've got a couple of laps wear on them. I'm not quite sure what Shane is doing here. He's driven through the entire pack and is going onto the grid immediately. Everyone else seems to be lining up nicely. So wait for the leaders to come through now. Onto the grid then. And we'll get ready for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix here for round 13 of the Season 9 F3 Championship. Be underway shortly. So here we go then. All the cars synced up, a couple of ghosts in there actually. 5 red lights then. Being held for a long time and away they go. Eventually it looks like Blizzard actually has a very good start. But Aaron seems to have trumped him with that one. Zandamar looking down the inside now. Gonna go defensive is Aaron. He's not been used to defending that. Void's trying to go around the outside of Zandamar. We've got a force in here, Ferrari side by side in the background. That is Void's and Seb. Oh, there's a Red Bull. There's two Red Bulls in the wall. That is Tezza and Miles, the two teammates. Don't know if they hit each other. Shane the boss is damaged once again. There you go. Point proven. Within two corners, Eusebio trying to make up ground early on. Alduro has slipped back. The Lee up into P9 already. That's good for him. And other than the couple of Red Bulls and the damage to that Renault, looks like everyone's got away pretty cleanly. And not too much movement off the start. Eusebio, the big gainer, and Miles, of course, losing out massively. And actually, Alduro has just got back past the Lee. These guys all have front wing damage, actually. I didn't quite see that. And it just goes to show the quality of driving in the lower divisions just isn't there. But it is Aaron that leads them away. A little bit of a twitch there on the exit of 12. Nothing too major. So used to seeing the McLaren out front now. But again, that little bit of lag that we saw last week that ended up destroying Mark's hope of taking the win. And it was literally the only reason Aaron won that race. Mark was going with him toe for toe. Zandamar not too far behind either. And Void's not too far back either. He's just out of DRS range. We've got a yellow in sector 3. We've got Tezza in the pits. Miles. Oh my goodness, Miles. Goes from bad to worse for the Red Bull team. Shane's going to continue with half the front wing. Not a very good decision. As you can see there, you can hear the drop in engine sound. Miles has already got a 5-second stop go. That's not going to help him at all. And he has retired from the session. Arturo, I think, is the first. No, he's got wing damage as well. So from 9th down, everyone's got wing damage. Everyone in front, though, I think, is pretty clean. Looks that way at the moment. Anyway, down to turn 10 then. Don't think anyone's going to have a move yet. No DRS in operation just yet. The next lap. Got another yellow in sector 3. That might be for Miles, actually. Now yellow in sector 1, so I can only assume that's Miles' ghost that's causing that. On to lap 3 then. And it is a Voltex Aaron with a 22.2 fastest lap, almost a second advantage now over the first of the Williams. Alduro in, as you can see here, wing damage as we saw earlier. And he has been jumped by the Lee, but he's going to lose out massively. All the guys that aren't pitting now are going to be slow in the latter stages of their stint, which probably won't be too long because of the extra tyre they can have. Shane has left the session. He's still in his car. He can do a 2-stop from here. He can put those hard tyres back on if he wanted to, but he's left the session, so not quite sure what's going on there. Alduro into the pits as well. Tezza is he might get the jump here actually on Alduro. He comes out the pits now. He's a little bit too far behind. He obviously jumped Shane because Shane's in ghost mode. But yeah, that's pretty much that for now. Let's see if Milan can have a little dig at Kingdom Martin then. He's got DRS, but so has the McLaren in front of him, so we'll be expecting a move from here. Much more speed being taken by the McLaren than the Force India in front. Oh, and as I say that, he's gone wide. He's compromised his line through 11. Coming up to 12 now into turns 13. 14 and 15 is the chicane. You see Milan taking a much wider entry and very slow though through the chicane. As Aaron goes faster again by another 3/10. Seb unable to start switching on those mediums just yet. Let's see what he's doing at the moment. He's chasing voids. Can he make those mediums? He's got to turn the mediums on really. Got to find the optimal window for those. It is hot, it is sunny, so the softer tyre will be. And Trench goes an incident, and he spun off with one of the McLarens. That is Kingdom Martin, who's in the wall again. And yeah, that is a big incident. Oh, Kingdom Martin in the way. Get out of the way. That's it. Thought there's going to be a big crash then, but manages to scurry into the off the line. Sorry. And Eusebio picks up another, and that is Kingdom Martin out of the race again. Poor run of finishes, or rather non-finishes for him. which promotes everyone behind him up a place. Eusebio already up into 9th after starting 14th. And Trench Gun, as you can see, they're nursing that damaged Force India back to the pits. Lucky he's on the soft tyre, so he wasn't planning on doing a long stint anyway. And unfortunately for him, it's just gone from bad to worse. Milan, however, is up into P6. Good for him so far. Seb has actually got past Voids, so we missed that one in all the action. And what's happened with the Lee here? I think he's been in the pause menu again. We've seen that a lot from him. And he is through. And this is Trench Gun with no front wing, just missing the pit wall. Just got to make sure he doesn't get a 5-second stop go here. Yep, well under the speed limit. So really revving out that engine, Voids. Burning off a lot of fuel early on. And we've got a yellow in sector 3. I can only imagine. Actually, no, there's a question of what went on there. Just going to say it was a Tezza maybe hitting the wall, but no. Zandamar then lapping just a little bit slower than the car in front. He's only got a 1.8 second gap, but it is so tricky to follow around here, which means that he's just unable to get close and actually stay there, because the tyres just fall off so much quicker. They overheat as well, and the lack of downforce is horrific as well, especially on a track like this one. We've got a lot of fast corners, especially in sector 1 as well. A lot of quick corners, and even if you can stay close enough through that, you still got to manage the second sector and the final sector before you can really have a go down to turn 1. For the moment, Aaron's doing what he needs to do, once again just winning races. For now, it's all just died down a little bit. The gap's settling at 2 seconds, starting to expand by a 10th every couple of corners, every lap or so. And we'll be able to see what their tyre wear is like. They'll be in around lap 10 of their one stopping. 2 stoppers will be in around lap 7, 8. Oh, and a little bit of a twitch there for Zandamar. Keeps the car under control nicely though. So in the pursuit then for first place is Blizzard. What's going through his head right now? Is he pushing? Is he trying to stay with Aaron? To be fair, he's not dropping off too much. Now Aaron said his flurry of fastest laps. Zandamar's made a little bit of a mistake there because he's now 2.6 down. Not quite sure what went on there. Alduro actually very close to the back of the Lee, and as you can see now into turn 9 they go, almost side by side actually. He's got the DRS, switches to the inside, down into turn 10, late on the brakes. Has he missed it? I think he has, yep, miles off the track. And he's going to have to try into turn 1 now. This is next overtaking chance. Zandamar's struggling, he's now 3 seconds behind. And Seb is catching him as well, the tyre's beginning to wear off. Oh, that's a lot of curb there, a lot of curb from Malduro, but he's actually managed to catch the lead. Look how close he is, coming out of the final corner. He's already trying to make a move on the exit. The lead trying to defend. They're side by side as they come down and past the pits. The lead tucks in behind. He knows he's not got the straight line speed. He's going to have a go back into turn 1. Maybe he is. Goes up the inside. Is there contact? No. And that is swept. Oh, has he lost it? I thought it. Yep. He did lose the back end just a little bit there, Alduro. I thought he kept it around the outside, but no. And he goes back up the inside into turn 3. Oh, they're touching. They're both out. There's a huge crash. Both drivers, I'm amazed. The lead is still in the race somehow. That's a huge crash. And Alduro's lost his front left. Similar to where Miles crashed in qualifying. That's a huge crash. They tangled wheels. And he is out of the race, meaning that now all he's got to do is complete the rest of the race, Lee, and he'll pick up a point. That is a huge crash though. If we did have a safety car on, it would make it rather interesting, but we don't because it is broken, of course. Thank you, Codemasters, for that one. Anyway, back up at the front, Blizzard has actually shortened the gap down by 4 tenths. He's now a 1.4, he was 1.4 behind Aaron. See there the McLaren in front. I think he did just lap somebody. No, it was just the Renault in front that I could see. And I thought was the orange McLaren of Aaron. So he's the first driver to be lapped. Again, Renault's lapping round at the back. It's starting to drop off again now. So just adjusting dials on the steering wheel, probably into lean fuel mix now for this final sector. Very tight, complex sector this. There's a difference between Blizzard and Aaron. Blizzard using second gear and Aaron using third through that chicane, and Blizzard's actually dropping off a little bit. Seb has got past Zandamar. Not quite sure what's happened there, but we've missed that one, and Zandamar is really struggling now. Did he even get DRS off of Shane? No, he didn't. Milan first pitter then, off the soft tyres. This is a pretty early stop actually, end of lap 8, might be 2 stopping to see what he goes on to. Is he going on to mediums or hards? He's on to the hard tyres. That's an interesting call, Ben. So he's cut his first stint a little bit short, or 2 laps short in fact. But he may be able to take this to the end. We'll see what he does though later on in the race. He'll be pitting around lap 24 if he wants to go back onto the softs. So he's got 15 laps to take these minimum. Aaron with a 3-second time penalty. We don't see that very often, but he's now put himself in danger. And Zandamar picks one up, probably the same corner. So I don't know if those guys have been matching each other for warnings. And Shane as well back into the session. He is now 7/10 behind the lead. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, especially since he's in AI mode. The lead has pitted as well, so I'm not sure if he's had an off somewhere. Got a yellow in sector 3. Who is that, I wonder? Might have been Shane just jumping back into his car actually. And Aaron in the pits, so it wasn't front wing, which is what I thought it might have been there. But all good for now. This is not an early stop at all. This is probably where you want to be in terms of lap times and pitting on the right lap. He obviously feels those softs had no one to give. Out he comes in P5. Milan behind is not going to get anywhere near him, so he's got an 8-second, 9-second deficit to Void in front. But it's Seb that he's got to worry about, because he's going to be the one holding him up, although he probably only go to about lap 15 before he pits, so I don't think he's going to catch that much in 5 laps, and would be having to lap about 3 seconds, 4 seconds a lap quicker, so I don't think he's going to get held up at all. Timed that very nicely. All the gaps just beginning to settle down again. Tezza, however, gets past Eusebio for P7. Quite sure how Shane's AI. Oh no, he's not in AI mode. That's it. He's actually back in the car. The Renaults will be fighting now for the rest of the race, and it's now a 3-way battle for P7. However, up at the front, Blizzard into the pits then, followed by Zandamar and Voids. Now this is going to be interesting. Where is Aaron going to come out? He's come around the final corner now. He is miles ahead of Blizzard, who's only just exiting the pits. Got a yellow in sector 2. Let's have a little look who'll be there. Oh, and it's trench coat once again. He's already had one incident today. Has he managed to keep it damage free? Don't think so. He'll be back in the pit to the end of this lap. Zandamar comes out then with Void. Here comes Milan. I don't think he's going to have the speed, you know. Not quite close, but not quite close enough. And he's now right on the back of the Haas. Can he make something of this opportunity? See that lifting, you can hear the engine. I don't think he's going to be getting another chance anytime soon if he doesn't make it in the next lap or so. This is all allowing Zandamar to break free, because of course Voids is going to have to be checking his mirrors. But for the moment he's doing what he needs to do. He's actually pulling away slightly now as well, even though he's only... Actually, Milan, to be fair, pitted 3 laps ago, so he's got a little bit of wear on those tyres. Nothing too major, though. Voigt is probably the quicker driver as well. There you go, DRS flap open. Closes the gap just by a tenth or two. See there, Trench gone back into the pit. We're expecting Seb in around lap 15, so we'll wait for him to pit. Then we'll get a real look at who's going to be finishing where. Definitely won't be winning this race, Seb. And unless he's got extreme pace. Only 8 tenths off pole on the medium tyre, so you never know. Lamborghini to just drop off now. 1.1 the gap. For now, it's actually slightly come down there. Maybe Milan's just better through the first sector than Voigt's. It's a gap like to Zandamar, pretty much staying at 3.5. It's actually going up a little bit, so Voigt's not the quickest. Milan obviously getting the dirty air a little bit, which is affecting him. Little lift there again through turn 9, that's very normal indeed. Car very unbalanced in the race with the high fuel loads. In quali, you can take it flat depending on setup, but it's very tricky. And so is turn 12 actually. And there you go, Aaron popping in the fastest lap. I think it was only a tenth faster than his previous, but it still just shows that the hard tyre are a quick tyre if you can make them work. And he's catching Seb. Zandamar, however, goes faster, and I didn't even consider the fact that he'd be on mediums. He's 2-stopping then, and he's faster than Aaron at the moment, although he is nearly 12 seconds behind. He'll be enjoying this little stint of pace. And he's opted for a different strategy for his teammate, which is a good thing. On the AstroTurf, as he comes out of 3, you do not want to be there. We'll keep an eye on the gap then to his teammate, 7.2 currently. Eusebio back into the pits, and that's because of front wing damage. I can't remember if he stopped or not. No, he hasn't, so this is a strategic stop. And he will be getting a front nose change. On it goes, onto another set of the medium tyres. Interesting, he's not gone for hot unless he has in the game. He's just playing with us. No, he has actually gone onto the medium tyres, so he will have to come in again. If he put hard on, it would have been fine. But he will have to stop again. And Seb also into the pits. We've got a yellow in sector 3. That's Shane. Oh my goodness, where is he going? And Zandamar's going to pick up a nice little bit of DRS here. Shane's going to stay to the right hand side, and the Lee also in front of him. Shane picks up the slipstream, gets past the Lee, who I'm pretty sure was waiting for him. Zandamar 3 seconds behind Seb already. And he's coming down quite quickly. Seb obviously struggling. And he's... Has he pitted? I'm sure he just pitted. Yeah, he did. He was on the hard tyres, however. And he was actually catching Blizzard. That's why the gap is so much shorter. But these guys are racing full position now. So Zandamar, however, will have to stop again. Unless he's got some ridiculous tyre wear hidden. But he's got to catch Seb, pass Seb, pit, and then catch him again. Trench gun, however, right behind Eusebio, comes out of the final corner, will have the DRS. So yeah, rear flap pops open. Void's picking up a 3-second time penalty as well. Eusebio weaving all over the place, trying to keep Trench gun behind him, but he's not going to come of any use. Trench gun dives up the inside. Eusebio's going to get him back into turn 3. They make contact. Up the inside goes the Sauber, pushes Trench gun out wide. He's already done this once today. Saves it the second time round. He won't be happy with that. It was aggressive defending from the Sauber. And he's now going to be lapped by the race leader, Aaron. And I'm sure Trenchgun won't be having any of that. Whether he sends it into the stewards later or not, we will find out. But he's got to catch back up to Eusebio now, who he's probably much quicker than anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue. So he'll pick up a warning there, no doubt. Maybe able to use his blue flag to good effect actually if he can negotiate it well enough. You see the speed there that Aaron's taking through turn 9 compared to the guys in front of him. Being lapped already is not good at all. Closing the gap back down already as Trenchgun down to 2.4. But he runs wide coming out of turn 15. Zandamar closing up now to Seb. Little touch of the grass there on the left hand side coming out of turn 12 there. Quite easy to do so. You want to try and open up the line for turn 13, but it just doesn't. The track doesn't fall off to the left. It does come over to the right ever so slightly, so it does catch you out. But the gap is 1.5. He's got to pass him and then pit again though. This is where Zandamar's strategy might come back to bite him. Trenchgun actually falling off. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Ah, he's just let through Aaron, that's why. So I wonder if he let him through. They would have let him through before the DRS zone. I was going to say he may have tried to get a tow, but he definitely wouldn't have done. Is he going to get a tow off of Aaron here though? Down to turn 10. Yep, he is. Rear flap open. Blizzard not too far behind. He's 5 seconds out behind Aaron. See that the difference in the camber there between the two corners of 11 and 12. One falls off to the right, one falls off to the left, and it really doesn't settle the car through there. Zandamar then, not quite within DRS range yet. A little bit of a slide through turn 14. Does look like a promising aspect, though. He's got 2 races to get a F2 promotion spot. We just look now at the table. Currently on 28 points, so 50 points in total up for grabs, although he won't be getting that today. So a realistic target would probably be 30 points, would mean he just miss out. Frag has been kicked from the league actually, which means Liliart is currently taking that promotion spot. Marklin the same. Kingdom Martin also had a chance, and if he'd actually raced today, he would have managed to pick up at least 3 points, I would have thought, or 2 points, sorry. It's Trenchgun, but yeah, he's bailed out early. Which means that Zandamar, after this current result, he will get 12 points, which will put him onto 40 points, and he'll only be 21 behind Lily. But it means he would have to outscore Lily by 21 points in the next race, which unless he wins isn't possible. So he needs this, he needs better than P4. Don't think he's going to get it. Void setting the fastest lap then, he's going quick at the moment. As Trenchgun attempts for a second time to get past the Sauber of Eusebio. He's not close enough to make a move into 4 this time. Eusebio running a little bit wide though. Now, having said that, Trenchgun didn't run the car wide, which means he's actually compromising his line. Trenchgun will have to pit again. He's currently on softs. Maybe he picked up a warning for that. Tezza's pitted from 7th off the medium tyres. Why do we always have a tyre thing with Tezza? Game just really doesn't like him. And there's Red Bull. Trenchgun then, can he have a look into 10? Too far back for that. Wider entry though. This is going to help his line out of 10 up through 11 and 12. You can see the car just bottoming out ever so slightly, spitting him off to the left hand side. Trenchgun almost taking the right hander there in 5th gear. Very close to the back of Eusebio, and he's actually lost time there. because he had to anticipate the fact that Eusebio might have actually just broke his front wing. But he looks like he's going to get past it into turn 1. Eusebio all over the place again. Trenchgun goes to the right hand side. Eusebio can't defend, and stays behind this time. They're about to get lapped by Blizzard, I believe. Eusebio's running wide there slightly. Thought he might have lost the back end, but no, keeps it all in good nick for now. And Ali into the pits with a damaged front wing. Shane continues round. I thought he was in the pits for a second, but no. Shushkan needs to get off those softs ASAP. Zandamar still unable to get close, and these mediums really aren't working. Unless the game is telling him that the car in front is on mediums, and Zandamar's just going, okay, I'll just bide my time. Then unfortunately for him, he's got a rather nasty surprise coming his way. Gap is just stabilising now at 1.4. And really, other than Trenchgun and Eusebio, who is now putting away Trenchgun, this is the only close contested position on track. Spain is never really a huge overtaking circuit. There are very limited overtaking chances, and you've got to be very close to the car in front to even have a thought about having go. Turn 1, of course, is one of those, but it's a very fast right-hander. Then of course turn 4 the same, but you've got to keep so close through 3 that it does make overtaking very, very difficult indeed. Getting the gap down ever so slightly now though, Zandamar. We'll be able to see if he can get within DRS range now. So he gets the gap down to now under a second. It's a game on for Zandamar. Can he get within that? I think he's just dropped. Oh, he's made a mistake coming into the chicane. Loses the back end. Just about keeps it under control. That's a big disappointment for him, who was chasing down. Unfortunately, he will not be able to contest that position anymore. Seb, however, is catching Blizzard, and I don't know if he's made a mistake, the Williams, but he's dropping back rapidly. He was only 7 seconds behind Aaron, so I think he's made a mistake somewhere. And this is going to be a huge morale boost to Seb, because he's now within touching distance of P2. He's just so much quicker at this stage. I don't know what's happened with Blizzard, whether his setup just isn't good on tyres. Look at the time he's losing though. So come through turn 12 now. Is he actually struggling that much? Aaron goes quickest with a 21.3. Blizzard is going to have to defend into turn 1 possibly. Closing is the Ferrari behind. Has a little look, but not close enough. Through turn 3 now, and he's so close, is Seb. Is he going to have to go into 4? He was closing on the brakes. The concertina effect though, of course, exaggerating that slightly, but Blizzard all over the place, and looks like we could have a move here for P2. Get him on the cutback, maybe. Nope, not good enough drive out of turn 5. Up the inside into 7, no way. Putting his car in that position is a hugely risky one. Tries the outside then, does Seb. Nope, no, again. Blizzard's defending well there actually. This is all helping Zandamar. But Zandamar does have to pit again, so not quite sure what he's thinking right now. Aaron goes faster yet again. Look how close he is to the back of the Williams. My goodness. Almost touching the back end of the Williams there as they came out of the chicane. Unbelievably close, and now into turn 1. Trying to go around the outside with the DRS. Is he going to have it? Has he got the grip? He's kept his nose in there. Backs out rather sensibly, I'd say. And he's still not able to get past the... I can only see, really, he's not damaged, but he's just a very, very hindered car right now. And Zandamar, you can see the gap's already come down from 3.5 to 2.5. And is Seb going to get past here? Down the hill into turn 5. Round the outside again. Blizzard doing everything he can to keep the position. And he's well within his rights to do this. Surely not into 7 again. Has he hit the back of him there? No, he's managed to keep his nose clean for now. But for how much longer? Again, so close through turn 9. Is he going to try the outside into 10? He is. Of course, both drivers on the same tyre. They're both running the hard tyre. The graphic on the left there is the one you should be looking at, not the physical tyres on the car. And into the pits comes Zandamar. Well under the speed limit. He's going to drop out behind Milan though. It's going to really hurt him actually. Onto the softs he goes. Seb meanwhile still unable to get past the Williams of Blizzard. Up into turn 4, he's on the grass now, that's going to hinder him. Milan into the pits as well, so obviously he made that early first stop. So Zandamar's going to have a little bit of breathing space there. These two still going at it though. This is all helping Void's behind. Whether he's got the pace or not, we shall find out. But Blizzard clearly hasn't. And he is really strong. Look how close they are through turn. He's literally pushing him through turn 9 is Seb. And on the grass is Blizzard now, just to hold the inside line. Hanging around the outside now. Can he make it stick up into turn 11? No, he can't. No traction there on the AstroTurf. Again, Aaron going fastest. Purple, purple, purple. And his best chance is really into turn 1. But he's got to get such a good drive out of this final corner. Which is the second part of the chicane really needs to concentrate on. As you can see there, Blizzard just able to get just enough, but he's so close to the back of the Williams. DRS in action again, here we go. Blizzard goes towards the inside, and he's backed off very, very quickly there. Has Seb, he's trying to try a different line. He's going to cut back late here through turn 3. Has he got the grip on the understeer there? Just being shown, and he's switched back to the inside, and Blizzard's got to get in the space, and he's finally through. Is he, Seb? Squeezing him out, and I think he's done it. I think he's done it. And a brilliant piece of racing there from both drivers. Seb finally getting past the Williams of Blizzard, and that was some brilliant racing there from these two drivers. Good respect for each other. Blizzard was 100% fair in what he was doing. They didn't come back across the racing line when they were going into turn 4 after Seb had switched back, and Seb squeezing Blizzard out so he could get the move done. Very good racing from those two indeed. And I don't think Blizzard's got anything left in the tank to come back at the Ferrari now. Aaron once again goes faster. But some very, very good racing there indeed. We've needed that, that's for sure. It's been fairly bland up till this point. A little bit of excitement there. Blizzard's actually dropped out of DRS range already, so he really is struggling. Zandermark does go faster. That's almost a second faster than Aaron. So Aaron won't be getting his fastest lap today unless he chooses to pit. You never know, he might just do that. He's already pretty much won F2. Blizzard really starting to feel the effects now of whatever tyre wear it is he's got. Zandermark catching quickly though on voids. And he's cleared the traffic of, I think that's Trench Gun. Yeah, so he's in clean air now. On those soft tyres. Void stays out, he won't be pitting now. He's going to the end on these tyres. Can Void actually catch Blizzard? Let's have a look at the delta. Point 8 stabilising quite nicely at now. It's coming down ever so slightly. Blizzard is slow, we know that. You see that the gap's already come down 4/10 in that first sector alone. He really is struggling. Is the Williams driver. The second one, however, slightly further down in P5, is flying. He set a fastest lap last time round. Well, not last time round, sorry, the previous lap. Will Aaron try and beat that? That's the question. Continues round. Very smooth on the steering. This is why he's so quick. A little drop of the revs there. He's able to hug that inside that a little bit more. Preferable line, and he will be a force next season in F2. Got quite a few quick drivers ready to come up to F1 from F2, so it may just dull down the competition, but he will be there to put a spanner in the works for a few drivers that are looking for an F1 spot next season, or should I say the season after. Blizzard dropping off and Void within, well, within 4 seconds now. I'm not quite sure where that time's going. He's caught a second in a lap, so he really is struggling. Blizzard, let's just ride on board, see where he's struggling. A little bit twitchy out of the traction zone, but nothing too major. Let's see if we can get the throttle input here. Nice and late on the brakes. See, there's actually pushing himself wide onto the AstroTurf with that throttle. He's almost selecting a gear too low for some corners, which is compromising his time because it's unsettling the car. Obviously the tyre wear as well, you can't really see it on the front left at the moment, but hopefully the sun will drop away in a second when we go to another part of the circuit. You'll actually be able to see the front left graining there, you can see the discoloration. Very interesting gearing through there. Really running wide, that front left is crying out. You can see there, much better, where the degradation is on that tyre. And he is really starting to struggle. And Zandermark, who was fighting, or he wasn't quite fighting with Blizzard, but he was there or thereabouts, is now only 7 seconds behind him. And when Voids goes for an overtake, those two are going to be fighting as well. So it could all be still to play for Zandermark, that P3 spot. And 15 points would do him the world of good. And as I was saying earlier, of course 12 points wouldn't really be enough. 15 however, and it might just be enough. 15 would put him on to 45, which would put him 16 behind Lily. So you would have to pray that Lily has a horrific race in Australia. It is possible, of course, but we shall see. Lily has mentioned the fact that he would rather stay in F3 for next season as well, so we'll see how that works out. For now, Voids just continues to close the gap on Blizzard for that third place, with Zandamar 5 seconds behind him. So here we go then. 2 laps to go when they cross the line. No, there isn't, because Aaron's already on lap 31. As he laps the Renaults for a second time. 3 laps then for Voids to negotiate a 1 second gap, or just over a 1 second gap, to Blizzard. And Zandamar's dropped off already. Pace just is not there. Needs to be catching by a second a lap, and he's not doing that at the moment. You see that car sliding. And Void massively catching Blizzard now. He was passed by Seb not too long ago, and he's falling backwards rather rapidly here. Void's just eyeing up his move. We do not want to see the back of his car. Is Void's going to have a look into 10? Nope, not yet. He knows he's got the time to spare. I think he's actually got a 3-second time penalty as well, Void, so he's got to pull that as well. No way, around the outside, surely not. He did try it there. I thought he was going to succeed for a moment, but clearly Blizzard's tyres aren't that bad. And he's in the back of him. Void has damage. This could be huge. 2 laps to go. And you can see the understeer he's suffering with as he comes out of the final corner. This is a huge bonus now for Zandamar. He's got 2 cars nursing at home in front of him. Oh, and that's why Blizzard's so slow. He's got that front wing damage. I've never seen that up until now. And that's why he's suffering, because of that front wing damage, and I've never clocked on up until this point. That's why he's so slow. He's obviously... He must have come into contact with a back marker or somewhere or something along those lines, because I'm pretty sure he didn't have damage when he pitted. So that's an interesting one. That's why then he's struggling so much. And it all comes down now to this man, who is just 2 seconds behind 2 wounded cars. Very late turn in there, actually. It's why he's not catching as quick as he could be. These 3 all battling for that final podium spot. We're on to the last lap now. When they cross the line, they'll be on to the last lap. Aaron's already on to his last lap and halfway round. From behind these guys, they had a very, very quiet race indeed. And there you go, that just shows the distance from the leader. Can Zandamar get past? That is the question. Look how close he is to the back of these guys. He's got just 12 more corners to go. Look how quick he is through turn 4. already catching by half a second. Void's up the inside as well. There's contact between the two. This is all just helping Zandamar now. Up into turn 7. Up the inside goes Voids. Blizzard holding on for dear life now from his teammate. Aaron crosses the line in P1. We're going to stick with these guys though for now, as it's a 3-way battle now into turn 10 for the final penalty spot. They're 3 wide. Here they come. Blizzard holding the middle ground. Zandamar around the outside. Voids is going to hold on to 3rd place. It looks like those Zandamar sideways as he comes through turn 12. Has he got anything left in his locker? He's pushing like crazy to try and catch him. Zandamar's picked up a 3-second time penalty. So that will be the end of that. I think Voids is a 3-second time penalty as well. I can't remember if Blizzard did or not. And what an amazing piece of action. Onto the last lap. 3 cars all covered by what was 7/10 of a second in the end. Voids and Blizzard obviously both have penalties. Zandamar finishes P5. What a race. Seb finishing P2. Voids finishing P3. Blizzard in P4. Zandamar P5. And Milan's going to come across the line. Got no idea what's just happened in front of him. P6 for Milan. Tezza P7. Trenchgun P8. Eusebio will finish P9. And the lead will pick up the final point in P10. My goodness. What a final lap that was. And I don't think Zandamar was quite expecting it to get that close when he was pitting for the soft tyres. What a final lap that was indeed. Very exhilarating indeed. And it's all on to Australia now. Unfortunately for Zandamar, it means he can't get promoted into F2, which is a shame because he has been a very good driver towards the latter end of the season. Of course, he only joined a few races ago. But that is your race winner for today. Voltex Aaron once again storming to victory with a 20-second gap over Voltex Seb, who started P5 on those medium tyres. Worked out quite nicely for him in the end to get P2. Tezza up from 12th to finish P7. That's a good finish from him. And also Milan from 9th to 6th place. Other than that, everyone else pretty much dropped a position or 2. But yeah, a very, very dull race up until that latter stage. We had a couple of drivers going onto the soft tyres. Created a lot of action in the end, but that is it from me for this week. We'll be back for the final round of the F3 Championship in Australia next week, 6 PM BST, British Summer Time. And yeah, we'll see you then. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.